Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest changes happening in business right now. We're talking about a move away from those static, kind of boring dashboards we've all been using for years, and into a world where you can actually have a real conversation with your data. This is the conversational BI revolution, and trust me, it's changing everything.
You've been there, right? You spot something weird in the numbers, a dip in sales, maybe a surprising spike, and a question pops into your head. But to get the answer, you gotta send an email, file a ticket, and then you just wait. It is so frustrating, especially because you know the answer's right there, locked away inside your own systems.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by looking at the old way of doing things and its biggest problem, something called insight latency. Then we'll jump into the exciting new world of speaking data. After that, we'll get real about the hurdles and some hidden dangers you need to know about. We'll also see how the job of a data pro is totally transforming, and we'll wrap up by looking at the new strategic partnership this creates in business.
All right, so first up, the old way. The absolute core problem that this whole revolution is trying to solve is a concept called insight latency. It's that painful gap, the one that costs you time, money, and opportunity between the second you have a question and the moment you actually get a data-backed answer. I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way, it's this slow, one-way street. You spot something, email someone, wait a few days. The new way, it's a real-time conversation. You ask a question just like you're talking to a person, you get an answer instantly, and then you can immediately ask a follow-up. That delay, it's just gone.
And that brings us to the new way, speaking data. This is where conversational business intelligence comes in. And listen, this is not just about getting a faster report. This is a technology that completely democratizes data access. It puts incredible analytical power into everybody's hands, not just a handful of specialists.
You know, the really game-changing part is that conversational BI just vaporizes the technical barrier. You don't need to know how to code or navigate some ridiculously complex dashboard anymore. If you can ask a question, you can get an insight. It literally makes getting data as easy as having a chat.
So this leads to this amazing power of real-time interrogation. It's not just about one question and done. A leader can now dig in themselves. You get one answer, and that sparks another question, which leads to another. And within minutes, you have a deep understanding that would have taken days to get before.
Okay, check out this number, 70 to 85%. What in the world is that? Well, get this. That's the user adoption rate for these new conversational BI tools. That number is absolutely staggering, especially when you see how it compares to the old stuff.
Just look at this. It's not even close. Traditional BI tools, they're complicated, right? They have a steep learning curve, so you're lucky to get 15 or 25% of people to use them. But when you make getting insights as simple as talking, engagement just skyrockets, and more people using data means smarter decisions everywhere.
But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Implementing this tech isn't a walk in the park. It comes with some really significant challenges. Think of it like a giant spotlight. It's a powerful tool, but it also illuminates every single crack and problem in your existing data setup.
And here are the usual suspects. You got to remember, AI is not a magic wand. It can't fix bad data, it actually just exposes it faster. So if your data is a mess, or it's scattered all over the place, or you don't have a good semantic layer, which is just a fancy way of saying a business translator for your data, the AI is going to get confused and spit out garbage, and that kills user trust in a heartbeat.
Now this right here is a really critical risk to understand. It's called the illusion of competence. Because these AI tools sound so confident, so articulate, so perfect, our human brains are just wired to believe them without a second thought. And this can hide major accuracy problems, leading people to make really bad decisions based on information that sounds great but is actually wrong.
And then there's security. In the old world, security was simple. You either had access to a report or you didn't. But with conversational BI, if your permissions aren't locked down super tight, a user could ask a really broad question, and the AI, in trying to be helpful, might accidentally pull and summarize sensitive HR or financial data it has access to. It creates this huge new security blind spot.
So it's probably no surprise that a massive tech shift like this also means a massive shift for the people who work with it. The roles and skills that data and analytics teams need, they're being completely rewritten as we speak.
The whole job is changing. It's no longer about being a dashboard builder or a report creator. That's the old world. The new role is all about being a steward, a guide for the AI. It's way less about the technical button pushing and way more about strategic oversight, making sure the AI is used safely and effectively.
And this means you need a whole new set of skills. We're talking about things like prompt engineering, learning how to talk to the AI to get the best results. You need to be an expert in AI ethics, but maybe the most crucial skill of all is being that human business context translator, the one who can bridge the gap between the raw data and what it actually means for the business.
So when you put all of this together, the new technology, the transformed roles, the new skills, it all leads to one big thing: a completely new relationship between the business and its data team. It stops being a service desk and becomes a real strategic partnership.
And it makes total sense when you think about it. If the AI can handle all the simple, routine questions, it frees up the human data experts from that endless ticket-taker cycle. They can finally focus their brainpower on the really high-value stuff, like predictive modeling and solving the company's biggest strategic problems.
This one little change completely elevates the entire conversation. It's not a reactive, hey, can you pull this number for me anymore? It becomes a proactive, strategic discussion. How do we build our data foundation to answer the most important questions we have as a company? It's a total game changer. And with this new role, of course, comes new ways of measuring success. It's not about how fast a data team can churn out a report. The new scoreboard is all about business impact. Did they help make a better decision? Are people actually adopting and using these tools? It's about the value you create, not the volume of reports you produce. So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, this technology is not about replacing people. It's about amplifying them. It's a tool that automates the tedious stuff, freeing up human creativity and expertise to focus on strategy, on context, and on the complex decisions that, honestly, only people can make.
The conversation between us and our data is really just beginning. The technology is here, it's powerful, and it's ready to go. And that leaves us with one last really important question to think about. Your data is finally ready to talk. Is your organization prepared for the conversation?